This is a response to this post by Jeff, his first post. Since Jeff is on the Q quality assurance team, it's really his area. So I'll try to address some of these points. I can't do them all, but say we can't fix everything. My complaint is that you really don't fix anything. You map around gross errors. I'll get back to that. You say it's OpenStreetMap is a collaborative effort and you're trying to do one small part. Here's the current statistics. Look at all these highways, and these are almost all Facebook. Thousands and thousands. And that's why I quit, because the dubious quality, sorry, but all of these have to be double checked. This is decades of work. So, you say you can't fix everything, and then you talk a little bit about road alignment, map offset, anyway, so I picked a place on OpenStreetMap, and I picked this pretty much at random. And I picked this one because there's suspiciously few tracks here. In fact, there's one main one here. So here's the same area in the edit function. So let's look at this track. Now it's not shown as an import, but if we go to the history, it is an import. It looks like it's a lot of editing done on top of a road done back in 2014. These are 2017. So if we look at this track, quote unquote, it's not a track at all. It looks to me to be a paved road. Or at least it's an extremely high quality road. And it is five and a half meters. That's a pretty reasonable sized road. Now if that's the track, I mean, it's not. This looks like high quality road. Looks as good as this one, maybe a little narrower. So this is, I'm going to change it. Let's go back to let's just delete all this and join them. So I think that's right. Now there's a little misalignment here, but it's not too hard to double check. First, this is using Bing. Let's check it with Digital Globe. See, they sort of agree. Digital Globe standard, which I think actually has a better image than image quality than the premium. So this is probably not necessary, but get a little bit better aligned. And even if there's an offset, so that right here we don't have any GPS data, but if this is aligned to any one of the background images, it's easy to fix if it's shown in the future that this is off a little bit, like there's an offset. You can move the whole road. That easy. So getting it aligned to any one background is the most important thing. Let's go back. You'd say that one thing we you've received feedback about is the work is being too detailed or not detailed enough. Well, I've never heard that before. What I have heard is, and have stated, is that frequently you use a bunch of nodes to define a straight line. Here's one. This is from Facebook. I had a few extra nodes there. It's not a big deal. I found one that's nearby. Okay. Right, there are a bunch of nodes there. Now it's also not shown as being a Facebook map. Let's check this history. I suspect it is. I could be wrong. Takes a long time to load when there are a lot of edits. Okay. Yeah, this Facebook road. It's not labeled as such, but so anyway, I would just use a tiny fraction of the number of nodes. It makes them look kind of silly and lumpy, and there's just no reason I can see to do it that way. Where you need more nodes is on a curve. I mean, there's a little bit of a curve. Put a couple extra nodes there, and it just makes it a nice shape. So I know that's very common in OpenStreetMap. Even if you look at Germany, a perfect example of mapping, a lot of roads that just aren't drawn meticulously. It doesn't affect the function of the map, but I'm trying to get back where we were. Anyway, let's look at how some of these roads are tagged. This is tagged residential. Could be. Residential. See, I wouldn't call that a residential road. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Now, something like this I might call a track. These are definitely tracks. Of course, I can't see any reason to map them. Let's go one of my complaints about labeling things as a track. Agricultural or forestry use. This is from Map Features. If you want to tag a general use road, use the general highway value. On the routing section, it says tracks should always be avoided for through traffic. They're agricultural purpose. Connect fields to farms. So I think that's fairly clear. And Facebook says they've received mixed signals about users' opinions on whether things are tracks or not. Well, you should listen to the users' opinions, but really, it's the wiki that matters. So let's go. All right, here's another track. And that's down. Okay, here's that track. Again, I'm not sure I would call it a track. You could argue one way or the other, but I think I can see the quality of the road. It's not outrageous. Uh, it's a little bit smaller than the other one. You try to find a clear place away from the weeds. A little over 5 meters. So that's the kind of thing that's debatable. But it doesn't connect any fields and farms. It's wide open to through traffic. So according to the definition, it's just not a track. Here's another track in the same area. Again, it's not labeled as being a Facebook import, but it is. 36 looks like it was originally started by someone else. Anyway, my same argument. This is 6 meters wide. I can see a good surface here. I would not call that a track. Now here's the main road. If I check, see I've got 2 good GPS traces. And what I would do with this, just fudge it over a little bit. It's pretty easy to do, and you need to check on each end. But normally it doesn't seem to disturb things too much. Oops. So anyway, this is an area where I think there are actually too few tracks. I mean, where these little roads like this are labeled residential, sometimes service, residential. At any rate, I think there's a lot of tagging problems in this area. So I'm going to go end this, and I'll try to find an area with too many tracks and try to contrast it with this. By the way, regarding fixing things, you say you don't have time, but can you imagine anyone lasting very long in a Google mapping area if they said, it's not my job as quality assurance, it's not my job to fix map problems. Sorry, it just goes with the territory of mapping. Anyway, cheers.